Every year, South Boston Speedway hosts the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200. It's not a Cars Tour event, but it may as well be by proxy. Every late model stock driver in the region wants to run at this event and be part of the Virginia Triple Crown and start their road to what so few drivers can accomplish in a year, winning each Virginia Triple Header race. Thanks for tuning in this evening. Welcome to Pit Stop TV and the virtual South Boston Speedway. We are off to South Boston this evening for the Privateer Race Products 200, race number 6 on the 1/8 Racing Media National Tour in the Sim Auto Racing Association. My name is Andrew Cardinale IV. I've got Bryant Lucas alongside, and this broadcast, of course, brought to you by 1/8 Racing Media, Privateer Race Products, and by SARA Next Gen Templates. Bryant, I know road course racing is your thing, a little bit of NASCAR here and there, but this is a whole different kind of ball game, a whole different kind of animal in a way. We've got some 30 late model stocks ready to go ripping around South Boston Speedway at just 0.4 of a mile. This place is tight, this place is fast, and the track gets hot during the day, which it is during the day in Sim. We might see these guys really burn some rubber in a way they don't want to.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. Can't wait to do this with you, Andrew. 200 laps, 3 stages, or 4, I guess, if you count the last one. But I'm pretty excited to experience a new kind of racing here at South Boston. And this is going to be a great introduction for me.
Absolutely. You take a look at the South Boston Speedway track map on screen now, checking in at 0.4 of a mile, 2/5 if you want to look at it that way. It's hosted the NASCAR Xfinity Series through 2000, the NASCAR Truck Series through 2003, and NASCAR Cup races way back in the 60s and 70s. It's a sister track to Pocono Raceway in Pennsylvania by ownership, and of course is home of the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200, happening later this week at this same very racetrack in the real world. Thanks for tuning in this evening again. Want to take a look now at point standings coming into this race. Alex McCullum on top, but he's not here this evening. We'll talk more about that in a moment, but Cole Cabry comes in second. Ryan Kuhn tied with him. Cole Cabry has the win from Hickory. That breaks their tie. Jacob Harberts comes in fourth rather. He most recently went to Victory Lane at the Milwaukee Mile. The latest driver of anybody in this series to win a race. Spencer Dickinson there, the 5th spot. Trevor Edwards, Ty Majeski, Blake Thronberg, Josh Cottle, Aaron Johnson, your top 10. And you'll notice these point standings have really tightened up since Milwaukee, not because of on-track product at Milwaukee. Granted, it was a fantastic race between McCullum and Harberts to the end, actually because we now have 2 drop weeks figured in, so everything is tightened right back up with those drop weeks, giving these guys a little bit of breathing room, a couple of mulligans to work with in this season, which, Bryant, means that you can miss a race if you're Alex McCullum in this case.
Yeah, drop weeks help out a lot. They'll really help you in the championship for sure, and let you go take some vacations.
I think he wishes it was a vacation. He's actually racing tonight and probably on track right about now in the Pro Division at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Cookout Summer Shootout. I usually would be there on a Tuesday evening in the summer. This evening, well, we scheduled this event on top of it. I'm here. This is where I choose to be this Tuesday evening, so I'm happy. I am really glad to be here. This is a really cool event, really cool series that we've been covering throughout the course of 2024. We can also take a look at the series schedule. New Smyrna way back when, we weren't able to broadcast that event, but we picked up at Hickory, and we've been here now through the next 4. Now to South Boston makes 5 events that we've broadcasted. Next up, we go out to Slinger on July 3rd. Then it's out to Langley in the middle of July, Oxford in August, and then September holds Martinsville ahead for us. Then a race that is to be confirmed with the Fall Brawl in November. So plenty of racing coming up for these guys on short tracks on these Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday evenings. We're mixing things up here in the summer to make it all fit into the schedule. But I'm really excited also to get to Slinger on July 3rd, right before July 4th. That's just perfect, I feel like, for some short track racing. On track, though, practice coming to a close. We can take a look at practice standings on screen now. Cody Kelly fastest, Cameron Hamilton second, Justin Brooks, Ryan Kuhn, Brian Tedeschi complete your top 5. We'll get a look at some of the cars on track. There is Ryan Kuhn in the 72, sporting his kind of throwback RKM setup shop late model stock. We've got Cody Kelly on the racetrack as well. Cameron Hamilton out there in his number 10. Things looking very similar, but also a little bit different from Milwaukee a couple of weeks ago. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot here, Bryant, and poll you a little bit. Is there anything that you do know or don't know about late model stocks at South Boston?
Hey, I don't know anything, man. I did notice that it's kind of cool. These guys can make these cars whatever they want. I see Cadillacs, I see Toyotas, I see Chevrolets, and a lot of creativity in the manufacturers I see.
Absolutely. Now, I want to address weather conditions because as they switch into qualifying here, they're going to bounce around a little bit. I think we're getting a little bit later in the day. 83, nearly 84 degrees in the air, 101 on track, and that just lowered a bunch from about 110 on track. So that track temp is really going to bite these guys, is what they're fighting here in qualifying, as a 45-minute qualifying session opens. Now, we will not take all 45 minutes, but this is an open qualifying session, and as we take a look at Whiplash SimCam's race details, you can see we are running group qualification 5 laps per group. Now, we anticipate 5 to 6 cars per group. That means about 5 to 6 groups, probably as many as 7 groups on the racetrack for qualifying, so somewhere between 35 and 45 laps being run in this session. This is going to be a very touch and go kind of thing for us, a very brand new way to do qualification, but it's modeling what you would see in the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200 later this week, where they go out and run group qualification sessions. So we're going to learn with this process here, and I believe Matt Rolfe is going to be calling drivers to the grid here very shortly to go out for the first group of qualifying. In that time, though, what I can say is we have an interesting tire situation, and Bryant, you and I were talking about this a little bit pre-broadcast. Some drivers a little bit concerned. There are no extra change sets of tires for this race. They are on one set from green to checkered, with no changes in between, and that is very daunting. That is an extremely daunting thing to hear as a race car driver. 200 laps at Sobo during the day without change tires. Yes, that sounds scary, but you see that a lot in late model racing, and these laps will click off in a hurry if they just keep their wits about them and keep things clean and green on the racetrack. I think they can easily do those 200 laps and get to the end on this set of tires. But that's a pretty crazy task to think about. It's almost like triple or quad stinting at Lamar or something like that, Brian.
Oh yeah, it kind of is, and these tires are going to be burnt up. I just got some text from Race Control, though. We have the group, so you can see there's the 6 in there. You got Dickinson, and this is based off what Race Control is telling me. I'm not extremely experienced in this series, but what they got here, it says Group 1 is going to be Dickinson, BBQ, Ralph, Rogers, Cross, and Grout for Group 1.
Barbecue will be Dustin Monburquette, which I didn't realize. Oh, he is here this evening. So waiting for these drivers to get onto the track and get to their qualifying groups. You see a couple of them already lining up, ready to go out for group number 1. Well, that's it. That is Spencer Dickinson, Jake Grout on the track. Well, pit lane anyways, and it looks like Matt Rolfe will follow. So this will be kind of a little bit of a slower process than I think some had hoped, but that's okay. This is not an easy thing to coordinate. This is herding cats, literally, in live time.
Yes, it is. Reminds me of that commercial. You see them herding the cats across the plains. But I like what you were saying earlier, Andrew, about the tires. Tires is going to be insane today because it's going to be, do you want to win the first stages, or do you want to win the race? And it's all going to be about saving those tires and not using them up. I'd expect, like you said before the race started, these guys taking it extremely easy for the first 100 to 125 laps before they have to start fighting to get towards that win.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting task for these guys, interesting race for sure. There's a lot of unknowns, I think, and as you take a look around some of the racetrack, I really think we're just going to have to wait and see how they approach this race. The stages being thrown in there also going to be interesting. 4 stages for 200 laps, 50 laps apiece. There will be cautions at each of the ends of those stages. Looks like might be a grace period for some setup changes maybe before this first group goes out. You see Dickinson, Grout, and Matt Rolfe from the pit lane waiting on Monburquette maybe, and a couple of others. I hope nobody ran away from their sim. I know that's very likely the case, as some drivers might have walked away to grab a drink or something. I've got a couple next to me. I came prepared. Hopefully these guys did too.
Yeah, man, they gotta get that sweet tea, you know.
Or sweet tea
But
and lemonade.
yeah, sweet tea lemonade. A quick look at Group Two, real quick, as we see the 6 car going out there. Group Two is gonna be Williams, Heaton, Calabrio, Lakeford. That's a hard one. Souza?
Souza, yeah.
Souza, I got it right. Wow.
They're easier than they look, I promise.
And Cambrai?
Cabri.
Cabri and Cabri, it's going to be Group 2. But right now it's Group 1. They have 5 laps of quali here. Let's keep a close eye on them.
Yes, it looks like they gave some drivers a little bit of time to get to the grid. If they didn't, they're forfeiting their opportunity to qualify. And cars going out now. Spencer Dickinson goes to the top of the board. Now Jake Grout. And it's interesting as well because it didn't move Dickinson to the top. I wonder if his lap didn't count by virtue of an incident or something like that. But Dickinson completes another lap and goes nowhere. I'm a little bit concerned as Nim Cross goes to 3rd, Dustin Mauberquette to 4th. I see part of the problem. So it's sorted these guys into qualifying groups. Aha. So Mauberquette and others aren't on the same racetrack, if you will, as...
Okay.
Yeah, so it took the heat race strategy is what it did. Interesting. Well, we'll play with it as we need to here, but Nim Cross on the racetrack as well. There he is in the number 07 out of Pennsylvania. Devin Rogers on the racetrack. He comes into the pit lane. Matt Rolfe, I believe, wrapping up his qualification run. Yes, he's in the pit lane. And Jake Grout will follow. So a learning process for sure, but that's okay. That's a good thing, if anything. Learning processes are good. It means we'll be better the next time we come out and do this kind of thing. On board with Dustin Mauberquette, using the full width of that graphic for his last name. Had to build it specifically for him in mind. But out to the start-finish line to wrap up his, I believe, final qualifying lap. Yes, that'll do it. Mauberquette, second quick. He's clearly got a fast piece underneath him. I mean, second place out of, I know it's only out of 5 cars, but that close to Jake Grout from RKM is a big run so far for that 16 car. And I believe we've got the next group rolling out, although Devin Rogers also ran some laps and none of them seemed to have counted. I wonder as well if they could have been hit by qualifying scrutiny.
Yeah, because I did notice when you loaded in, the scrutiny was extremely high here. You spin the tires too much or go a little bit slow on your out lap, and it will DQ you for the session, it looks like, for the qualifying session. But Group 2, like I said, Williams, Heaton, Calabrio... Oh,
Calabro?
It's changed? Calabro, Linkford, Souza, and Cambrai.
Just look at Devin Rogers getting back on the racetrack. Car 25. It's difficult to practice these sorts of procedures as well because these guys all have very different schedules. I mean, recent race winner Joel Smith and series points leader Alex McCullum both on the racetrack this evening in the Pro Division in Cookout Summer Shootout. So, I mean, they couldn't be here, for example. Everybody's schedule is very different as Devin Rogers finally gets a time in here. He'll come around and turn lap number 5, I believe, and that should do it for driver 25. Although he's not shutting it down. He's on to lap 7, so...
He did get his checkered flag. It is showing in the entries. He did get his checkered flag. So right now, he's just doing practice laps. Nothing's going to count towards qualifying.
Which sucks because that last lap was a 15.031. It would have been 0.3 better and within the neighborhood of pole position. I mean, that would have put him up into 3rd spot. So that's unfortunate that that lap didn't count for him. But yeah, that's part of it, I suppose, part of the process. The Kyle Meyer, Kyle Souza getting in their cars. I like that green and pink car for Meyer. There's Kyle Souza, a new Souza Media late model stock.
One other driver that's been checkered flag is Spencer Dickerson. Dixon.
Dickinson.
Pardon me. Dickinson. We're working on it, guys. He has been checkered flag. It looks like he may have just skipped qualifying for tonight.
They tried to go out there, and I think he might have been hit by scrutiny because he ran a handful of laps, and none of them counted. So I wonder if that was the problem there for the 6 car. Here's Dylan Calabro on track. Let's go on board with him inside the car. I love this view. This is inside the helmet. Last lap of the 15 flat, and that puts him 4th so far as we're starting to really get some of these times in. He's going to drop down to the 6th spot. RJ Williams moves up, and how about Cole Cabry, Hickory winner, on the racetrack as well on the 54 car. Moe's Mobile Detailing on the hood of Matt Machine. And I believe this is a new venture he started up in the Charlotte area, so I would definitely give a look to Moe's Mobile Detailing if you're looking for, well, mobile detailing for your car. Gotta support those who are in racing, right?
Oh, for sure.
Caber comes across the line that lap no faster. I think he was getting ready to go for this final rip around the speedway. Lap 5, he was setting up for this kind of lap as he follows Steele Langford through 3 and 4. The nose washes a little bit. That's okay. A 14.951 is 1/1000th of a second. Now 2/1000ths of a second off of his previous best lap time. So very consistent from Cole Cabry, but he's not going to go any faster, unfortunately, as RJ Williams has to shut it down as well. He's 6th so far. They'll bring it down to the pit lane. And Kyle Souza has shut it down, although, yeah, looks like he's run all of his laps. Dylan Calabro looks like may not have run all of his laps in the 71. And we have new cars heading out. Keith Jeffries, one of them, it looks like heading to the grid. Kyle Meyer, Justin Crow in the 86. Jacob Harberts and Josh Parrish is hitting the racetrack.
On the money, that's all of them. That's for group, that is group 3. Of 5 groups. We got 2 more groups after this one. We're just almost halfway through qualifying.
So a bit of a slow start, but that's okay. I think they learned very quickly, did Matt Rolfe and other admins, exactly how to get this session on the road, and it's worked nicely since. Josh Parrish on track in car 55 goes 6th quick to start. Keith Jeffrey in the 88. And oh, Jacob Harberts swinging the hammer. Goes fastest, 14.890. And that's decently quick compared to Jake Grout's previous pole time. So that Cadillac definitely operating nicely. He slows down, lets Kyle Meyer go by. I really enjoy this qualifying format, actually. I think this is really, really nice.
It's for sure entertaining, that is for sure. And the drivers have to work together. You see the 88 go below the, what looked like the 88 there.
Yeah, 2 88s.
You know, yeah, 2 88s.
That short track race. You might show up to the racetrack one day and have 5 88s. I know we've got a couple of 16s, Rocky Boy, Dustin Lumbercat.
Yeah, it was a number that was certainly made popular, that's for sure.
Yeah. Keith Jeffrey's going to shut it down, bring it to the pit lane. It looks like Kyle Meyer will shut it down as well. And that should carry us through group number 3.
Group 4 is going to be Johnson, Laxton, Horton, Thronberg, and Edwards.
Chris Horton, one of the drivers being called to the grid then. In the 42. Should be joined by Aaron Johnson in the 78. All blue Dodge Charger. Justin Laxton you see in the very neon green 53 car.
I'm not allowed to root for cars, but that Dodge looks really good.
We'll allow it for sure today. There's the Moe's Mobile Detailing 32 of Trevor Edwards heading out to the racetrack. And Ryan Kuhn is in the car. I don't know that he's in this group, but... On board, Chris Horton, car 42. He made an appearance last at North Wilkesboro Speedway.
Kuhn is confirmed to be in Group 5.
There we go. So we're getting it all sorted out. See Horton on the racetrack. Trevor Edwards there behind. Johnson going to go to 9th. Horton's first lap does not count. Yes, it does, actually. It goes to 21st. Laxton goes to 4th, but Trevor Edwards, the shining star, he's going to tie the pole time nearly. 1/1000th of a second difference. It's actually going to be less than that. Less than 1/1000th.
on my timing, it is exactly the same. Wow.
We'll call that 1/10,000th of a second, maybe.
Sounds like a plan, man.
It goes down to that fourth digit. That's insane.
What I think is really interesting about this qualifying format also is this track is changing. The heat's going to be turning up or down as we're at 101 on the racetrack right now. And you're going to get rubber on the racetrack. And we've seen this in NASCAR as well, where rubber gets on the racetrack and the qualifying between the groups changes based on the track conditions. So if you might want to be the last person qualifying here, as it gives you more rubber on the track, or you want to be the first as the track is the coolest.
You saw track temp up to 102 now from 101, so it's rising a little bit, slowly but surely, as we should be down to our last group or two. Cody Kelly, Brian Tedeschi, Justin Brooks, Cameron Hamilton, Spencer Dickinson has already run. So Ryan Kuhn should complete that group, and we should be done with qualifying shortly thereafter. They only get 5 laps, so they can't let Dickinson go back out, which means he's going to have to start from the rear of the field. That's a big deal.
Yeah, and he already checker flagged himself as well, and so that kind of just ends it all as well.
There's Brian Tedeschi, Cody Kelly on the racetrack as well, Justin Brooks out there, Cameron Hamilton, and Ryan Kuhn. Possibly, I would say, fair to say, the heaviest hitter out of this group of the 72 car. Very well could go purple first lap out. And, oh, he does not. He's actually a little ways off. 3/100ths of a second. A little slower than I would have thought. Cody Kelly's going to go up there. Justin Brooks going to follow.
I'm telling you, the track has changed. I think this last session's where you want to be. It's got the most rubber on the racetrack.
Quite possibly. And I believe it was all just random draw. I can't imagine they would have seeded this by any meaningful way, as Ryan Kuhn fights the car at the start-finish line. A 9.51 there. Going to be a bit slower and about matching Cole Cabry, but he's already run faster, so that's going to be shut it down time for Ryan Kuhn. I believe he might go out there for one more lap. Here's Cody Kelly in the 75. Current pole sitter alongside Justin Brooks. They ran 8.68s and 8.81s. And that lap's slower for Kelly. And that he's got one more chance coming to the stripe. Justin Brooks does as well. And Kelly's going to shut it down. We'll see if Brooks comes around.
So something I've noticed here is they're not using up all their laps, it seems like. Is there a possible tire carryover from qualifying to the event?
There's not a tire carryover, but these guys realize that once you warm the tires up, you're just not going to get another good lap out of it. So you could go to the pit lane and get another set. But I think realistically then you start to fight with scrutiny issues or whatever. I don't know. But there is no tire carryover. That much I know, as we have 28 cars that are qualified. Spencer Dickinson not allowed a qualifying time, so Cody Kelly will be our pole sitter this evening from South Boston. No invert means this lineup that you see will carry over, although Steele Langford, his time is not loading on the ticker. I'm not sure why. Very interesting.
He is an 8th on the Race Labs ticker for me.
Yeah, I've got him there as well. I'm unsure as to why his lap isn't loading on the graphic, but that's okay.
It is a 14.930.
And looks like Matt Rolfe, yes, is going to advance the session, and we'll have to go through the technicality of the LCQ. But we did not hit that car limit, so we won't have to run it today. Nobody is going home. They are all making it into the race, all 28 cars. A really strong field. To have 28 cars to show up to South Boston and qualify as closely as they did, and not have to send anybody home, that's a good thing. But have 28 cars show up like this for an event, that's a really big deal for these guys. So you'll see the lap count is going to go up for a second. This event will be skipped, technically. Heat 1 is what it's being called, but it would be the last chance qualifier race. So we can take a look at the schedule one more time before we go racing this evening. South Boston here, race number 6. Next up we go to Slinger. Is there any track here in your road course and NASCAR oval days, any track on this list that you have some experience with, Brian?
I think I remember Mark Martin always talking about Slinger on his podcast and the sharp banking there. Other than that, obviously Martinsville's recognizable. Langley is obviously world renowned and in the oval racing community. So yeah, for sure, the Martinsville is unforgettable though. So can't forget that.
Yeah, Martinsville will host a 200 lapper for us later this year. Of course, matching the Valley Star 300 that'll be run later this year as well. And it's the 200 lap feature race, but it's called the 300. Do you know why?
I have no idea. Apparently, you're about to tell me a story, it seems.
Well, there's 4 50 lap heats. So it ends up being that they run 300 total laps, and a lot of short track series and short tracks do that. I'd love if somebody could tell me why, because other than just making the number bigger, I'm not sure what the benefit is there. Maybe somebody in YouTube chat can tell us why if they know, but I think it just helps the event sound bigger.
Yeah, come on, Andrew. Bigger is better. You ever been to Texas? Everything's bigger. Bigger is better. Just ask any Texan. They'll tell you.
You know, I used to live there way back when for a very short amount of time, but, you know, I haven't been back since 2018, actually. I have to refresh myself on Texas, apparently. That way I'll know why we use bigger numbers to sound cooler with short track events. I don't know. It's something that's always kind of stumped me as to why they do that. I get it. It makes the number sound bigger. I don't know.
Just the event sound bigger.
Yeah, just an interesting little short track thing. But while we wait on the session to roll over, I do want to mention that well, I do want to push some of you guys, if you're in the short track racing world and maybe already have the pitrow.tv subscription or are willing to subscribe to pitrow.tv. I was calling an event this past weekend at Anderson Motor Speedway in South Carolina that had one of the craziest pure stock races you'll ever see. So if you're into short track racing and you're watching, well, if you're watching, you probably are in some way. I certainly recommend hitting up that video on demand of the Southeast Super Trucks at Anderson Motor Speedway this past weekend. It was a lot of fun to call. And we've got cars heading to the racetrack once again. Warm up now for these guys. And this is an opportunity now, Brian, to really look at some of these paint schemes. There's a lot of cool ones.
Oh, for sure. Cameron Hamilton there in the number 10. Is that a Chevrolet?
It is. That is a Chevy Camaro set of headlights and taillights that he's got. A Cadillac there for Justin Brooks. Ryan Tedeschi.
Cool.
The Ford Mustang. You've got a couple of different Ford Mustangs out there. You can see them both. 3 different Ford Mustang noses within one shot.
I think the Mustang has gotten a lot of interest recently with the GT3 and the Dark Horse update.
Oh yeah, it looks fantastic as well. But there's Nim Cross in the iRacing Toyota Camry. That's not technically a Toyota Camry. There's Kyle Hedden in the 99 car with Spider-Man on the car. Might be a fan favorite, who knows? Rocky Boyd on the racetrack in a new paint scheme, going red with Chimera. I believe it's a Chimera or Camara. I can never recall. But a new red paint scheme there for Rocky Boyd. I really dig the red chrome numbers.
Oh yeah, they definitely look good, and definitely give a good reflection off the race car.
A new one here for Matt Rolfe as Nim Cross goes sliding through the frame. Evan Rogers, we saw his purple 25 a little while ago. There he is. The reflective decals there really light up. Ryan Kuhn, we saw Keith Jeffrey in the shot. Is there a favorite?
The 88 is around.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Kyle Myers.
Ooh.
Wow, Kyle Meyer, big problem there with Dustin Monberquette, it looked like. Is there a favorite that you can pick out from the field?
It's biased.
Wait, I know who you're going to say. This guy.
Yeah, yes. I gotta love my Dodge, man. You know, you think it would be a road course guy, I'd pick something like one of the Fords or something, but man, that Dodge, those headlights are just mean.
I can't disagree. It is a really nice looking car, as plain as it is. Plain Jane sometimes is the way to go. Cole Caber getting on the racetrack. I'm actually pretty partial to that color combo. I don't know why, but it looks really nice.
Definitely more of a design on that one, and I agree. Plain Jane kind of is that blue one is, and well, that's all my painters tell me is I'm really easy to paint for because I like pretty plain race cars.
Here's a plain Jane one that I think looks really good, and it's going to start on pole this evening. Car 75, Cody Kelly from the association. I think he might have something up his sleeve here. Now, of course, the race is going to be very, very different. We're going to see these guys go real easy at the start, I think, and work their way up to the last 50 laps, I'd imagine. But that tire situation, we really don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and he's done a really good job at making that 75 camera look really. Oh, that 7 goes up in front of him, collects him. Wow, oh, wow. It's just warm-ups, guys. We're good. It's just warm-ups. No one's actually being hurt. The 23 is in it. 75 is a nice, pretty roll there.
Gotta watch out for this guy, Justin Brooks. He's apparently got some big-time speed here today. Second place in qualifying, I believe. First here in this warm-up session. Watch out for the 33, apparently. Justin Brooks has really got some speed. Doesn't run a lot of these events, but we'll be looking for him today as there's the other 33, also quick. Steele Langford, fourth here in this warm-up session.
Just 1 minute left in this warm-up.
The times there on the left side of the screen. And I also really love just watching these guys go by some of these static cameras. You can see how much rubber this track has taken already. And Brian, if we check out weather conditions, track temp has come down significantly as we go later in the day, down to 90 degrees, air temp at 81. So kind of simulating that time advancement throughout the afternoon, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, it's definitely cooled down a lot from qualifying. And you can kind of see on how easy it was. You see the amount of people in the 14s here in practice compared to qualifying, and it definitely shows the track temp makes a huge difference here.
I gotta say, I've directed a broadcast here for the Cars Tour way back when, 2021, and getting ready for the broadcast. Just, had the broadcast set up, waiting for it to actually happen. Faxing our cameras and everything. I got very used to this exact sound going by the camera. Late model stocks just flying by the speed shot one after another during practice. It's I don't know, it's a comforting sound to me at this point. It's like it rocks me to sleep. I don't know, but that's going to be a cool sound, I think, once we get this race going. Listening to 28 of these guys go by our speed shot cameras around the racetrack, going to be a lot of fun as we will roll right into the race session and talk about our starting grid here. I'm excited as you see the weather conditions down another degree in the air temp, 98 on track, and I think that's only going to go lower and lower and lower. But let's meet our starting grid. Brian, on pole, we've got car 75, Cody Kelly. Justin Brooks going to join him there on the front row, starting third and fourth. Most recent SARA National Tour race winner, Jacob Harbert's on the inside in car 80. Trevor Edwards will start from fourth. To complete your top five, it's the young Jake Grout in the 49 car. Justin Laxton will roll off from sixth. To complete your top 10, how about Ryan Kuhn, Steele Langford, Dustin Monburkett, and Brian Tedeschi.
Yes, 11th is going to be Kyle Moyer and Cole Cabrera. Oh, I messed it up again.
Cole Cabry. I can run through if it's easier. I promise. A lot of these names are easier than they look.
I know. Just keep going. I'll suffer through it. I got to learn. Josh Parrish and Blake Thornburg. 14th for Thornburg. Dylan Cabrio for 15th. And outside of that row is going to be, that 8th row is going to be Hamilton. Johnson Boyd for the 9th row. Row 10 is going to be Crow and Horton.
If we jump back in, the last 8 cars, RJ Williams, Kyle Souza, Nim Cross back here in 23rd spot. Keith Jeffrey rolls off from 24th. Towards the back of the field, Kyle Hedden, Matt Rolfe, Devin Rogers, and Spencer Dickinson will round out the graphic. And 28 cars in all as they pace around the South Boston Speedway. There they are, getting ready to racing. We should have an extra pace lap or two so we can revisit those Whiplash SimCam race details. And yeah, we should have an extra handful of laps for these guys to get formed up. That'll do it.
Yeah, we got 3, so it should be. We have a little bit of time here, but up front there, that 75 Toyota you were talking about, you weren't kidding. It's got speed.
Absolutely. I think we'll have to watch for Cody Kelly very quickly in this event. 200-lap race, 4 50-lap stages. So stage cautions at the end of lap 50, 100, and 150. Then we're racing to the end. Group qualification already happened. It's an open setup race with no change tires, no fast fixes, and caution laps will count. I believe the iRacing.com pace car is going to head to pit lane this time by. Yes, it will. So we are green just like that at South Boston. Lap 1 complete. Cody Kelly still out front. There goes the entire field by the speed shot. Already leaders down the back straightaway. Cody Kelly, Justin Brooks, Justin Harberts, Jacob Harberts rather, Trevor Edwards, and Jake Grout, your top 5. Lap 2 completed 200. Harbert's fastest the first lap. The Privateer Race Products 200 quickly underway. Battles across the racetrack. One of them, Ryan Kuhn, laying back. This is going to be the theme of the day. Drivers laying back early in this race, trying to save their tires, make it to the end. They only have the one set for the entire race.
Yeah, and you see they're getting single file here. A couple of passes going on the outside throughout the field. 29 working on that on the outside. He's been working on it for a couple of laps. That will be... Josh Parrish looks like he had a problem there for a second. Maybe got in the wall just a little bit.
You see, there goes the 28 of Dustin Monbroquette. Here comes the 53 of Justin Laxton passing Jake Grout, who started in the top 5. Further back, you've got Brian Tedeschi moving forward. Ryan Kuhn laying back a little bit. Red and green all over my timing screen, all over the racetrack. Cars laying back, going low. Some cars going fast on the top side. Cody Kelly, though, leading the train. And this looks exactly like a late model stock race here at South Boston, where drivers know they only have the one set of tires. Some drivers taking it easy, others wanting to go get that track position early.
Yeah, and you see, like you said before the race, they're going to get calmed down really quick here. No reason to burn up these tires working through the field now, as it's probably not going to count for much this early in the race.
We say that, but then here comes Dustin Monbroquette moving forward out of Canada. He's starting to use these tires up early. First 10 laps, and he's already moved up to the 3rd spot. Let's see, where did he start? 9th. 6 spots in 8 laps. That's a big deal.
Yeah, biggest faller is going to be Rocky Boyd III. He's fallen all the way to the last position. He started 18th.
Chris Horton's up 10 spots in the 42 car. He's back here going low, it looks like. No, that was Tedeschi, actually, low to the inside of Jake Grout. Big move there to the inside of turn 3. Going to bring Kyle Meyer and Chris Horton along with. Horton moving through this field quickly. Ryan Kuhn's dropped 4 spots. And you mentioned Rocky Boyd going way back. He has sunk all the way to the back end of the field. He is dead last right now as there's 3 wide ahead of these guys. Keith Jeffrey. Man, we've got a logjam back here. Jeffrey to the inside of the 99 ahead. And you've got Matt Rolfe on the outside of it's the 07 of Nim Cross. And then up front, we've got Dustin Monbroquette moving to the outside of Justin Brooks, looking for the race lead on Cody Kelly.
Yeah, you were talking about Chris Horton there. 11 spots from the beginning of the race. Impressive for him, but this battle for the lead is heating up. That 28 on the outside, going to try to make something happen here. He gets that nose out into the corner. He's going to complete this pass off corner.
And I think the expectation here for Monbroquette is he's going to go out there and get the race lead and put as many drivers a lap down as possible. I can only imagine that's the agenda, and just get as far away as possible. But you've got to be careful here, because you can put a lot of time on these guys, but in 35 laps, it's all coming back at the end of the stage.
Yeah, you definitely got to be careful here.
So Monbroquette pulls away leading. You see the rest of the top 5 split up, saving their stuff. Way further back at the end of the top 10. Look at this log jam. Matt Rolfe, one of the cars moving forward, along with Spencer Dickinson, just going by the train.
That is reminiscent of Martinsville a little bit. You got the train on the inside, and except for the only difference is the train on the outside is the one that's moving forward.
I like this, though. This is showing these guys understand the tire situation. They're willing to play ball with it a little bit and save their stuff down low, and we might be able to just get these guys to log laps and see the difference in who can save their stuff and who can't by the end of lap 200. I really like this. This looks the most like a real late model stock event that I've ever seen on iRacing. This is really cool.
Well, all these tire savers need to pick up the pace. First place is on the same straightaway. You could see him in the back of the shot there. First place is catching the back of this field fast. He is about a half a straightaway from the 28th of Rocky Boyd III.
Yeah, so Mombercat, you can see leading this race, quickly catching up to the back end of the field. That's Rocky Boyd first, then Devin Rogers and some others he'd have to go by. Kyle Hedden's in that group. Your beloved Aaron Johnson, Blue Mopar Machine is in that group. It's going to be tough sailing, though, for him as he's put 3 seconds on Cody Kelly. He's going at nearly full tilt. Spinner, it's Nim Cross. No caution yet. Nim will go a lap down and pop back onto the racetrack there out of pit lane. He's going to pull back low, and Nim will stay out of the way here of the leaders. Well, kind of right in the way there through 1 and 2. I think they're okay with that, though. They're letting him catch the car and just do his thing and get back going.
Yeah, and here comes first place. He's going to work on his first lap car other than Nim Cross. It's going to be Devin Rogers in the 25.
Oh, wow.
To the inside there, way low, making it happen there, Andrew.
That was a big move. He really sent it in there, did Mombercat. He's not playing around. This is really early, though. He's going to start lapping these guys, yes, but this is really early to be racing like that.
I understand the strategy, you know, if you can lap half the field, well, I guess you're kind of locked there unless you burn up your tires so much early that you just have nothing left at the end.
Yeah, I don't know that I subscribe to the same logic as Dustin here, because he's also getting himself into all the fray, all of the logjam, where he could absolutely get taken out in a big crash.
Yeah, and there's definitely a cluster here in the middle of the field, so as he moves forward, you can kind of see ahead of him a ways there about, what is that, 17th through 22nd is in a tight cluster there, and he is going to get stopped real quick by that. You see, he is stuck behind the 99 here.
Yeah, he is stuck in line. There is nowhere to go between Rocky Boyd and, almost said Keith Hedden, that's Kyle Hedden. Keith Hedden is a driver we have in the Southeast Super Trucks. I don't know, I guess that's my confusion, but you also see Aaron Johnson down there as finally Dustin's going to get by Rocky Boyd, it looks like, on the top side of the track, but there is still just nowhere to go.
Yeah, and that's good for these other guys, though, that have gone a lap down. So far, only cars a lap down are going to be Rocky Boyd III, Devin Rogers, and Nim Cross. Of course, Nim Cross getting that
Three wide.
He's going to get 3 wide.
Nearly gets put in the wall there by Kyle Hedden. I mean, there's nowhere to go here. And he's getting held up. He's losing his advantage to second.
Yeah, he is. Last lap was a 16.1. Second place ran a 15.833. And third even quicker, and fourth even quicker than that.
Yeah, I just don't know about this strategy for Dustin Mombercat. I don't know where he's planning on going here. There's nowhere to go. These guys are locked up, side by side. And he throws it into the corner there. I mean, he's working the outside wall at this point through 3 and 4. And we're not even through stage 1.
Yeah, he definitely needs to try something different, as we are about, 32 laps in?
Yeah, working lap 32 now, and he's starting to lose that advantage quickly. He's lost a second within the last few laps. Now he goes way to the inside of Rocky Boyd, throws it down to the inside, makes contact with Boyd, does Dustin Mombercat.
See, I like this move. It obviously was not working on the outside, so he needed to try something different. Now it's he might be going for the bump and run. Oh,
Rocky Boyd did not appreciate that, so he comes back to the inside here, Mombercat. Dustin wisely backs out. That's, there's a pit wall down there.
Mombercat is not giving up on this 16. I don't know if Burkett's going to make it to the end of this race.
Oh, man. Here comes Rocky Boyd.
Hold your line. He's going to get it.
Wow.
That's really tight. Now he's going to work on this 78, that beautiful Dodge that I like so much.
I'm still just really confused by all of this from Dustin Mombercat. On board with him now. Fighting to the inside, maybe. Oh, that's a squeeze.
my.
That's going to
Wow.
move Johnson up the racetrack. Head nearly hits the wall, but that finally opens up the door for Montbriquet to start going somewhere here. Looking at Justin Crowe ahead, then Dylan Calabro. He's finally got an opening as he gets by the initial logjam, but that cost him 2 seconds of a race lead, and who knows how much on the tires.
I'm going to go over a couple of big movers so far here. Spencer Dickerson, obviously qualified last. He's up 17 positions, up to 11th. Matt Ralph is up 16. He started second to last. Those are your two biggest movers of the race. And then you also got Chris Horton, as we talked about earlier. He's all the way up in 7th in the 42 car.
Yeah, there you see Chris Horton in the 42. We're taking a brief look at 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Here they are, Cody Kelly, Justin Brooks, and Trevor Edwards. They've kind of picked themselves a pace to run.
Yeah, I like this pace. They're not going to catch the tail end of this pack by the end here. They have picked a pace that is going to manage those tires, and you see none of them are fighting because they know better. They go to their outside lane, and you're going to burn off them right side tires. I like this strategy by them. Montbriquet is just going for it. His last lap was faster than from 2nd through 4th by a couple of tenths. So Montbriquet's not giving up. He's still going to put more gap on these guys while in traffic.
Here's something really smart, though, that I'm seeing. Rocky Boyd, remember, he sat back. He was dead last initially. He is following Montbriquet through the field. He's trying to guarantee that at the drop of the stage caution, he is the first car 1 lap down, gets that lap back, and hangs on to the tail end of the lead lap. That is really smart stuff from Rocky Boyd III in the 16 car, and now puts Montbriquet 3 wide with Cameron Hamilton. That's one way to do it.
I think Boyd's still mad at him. I think Boyd's still trying to make his life difficult.
Oh, yeah, 100%. They just made some contact through 1 and 2, and Boyd is going to make... Oh! Boyd's going to turn the leader!
Oh!
Caution 1 is for Rocky Boyd. He will not get the lucky dog. That turns RJ Williams around, and that was with the race leader. I get it, you're mad, but that is insane.
I hate that I called that before it happened, but wow. I did not see that coming.
This might end the stage.
You got that replay?
We will.
Okay.
Letting the field kind of sort out here just in case there's anything else to happen.
Okay. All right.
Cody Kelly has actually dropped back. Now he's pulling back through and he goes back up to 2nd spot. There's a little concern there for a moment. But we'll go back and get a look at what just happened with Rocky Boyd III in the 16. I'm very much shocked.
It looked like that 16 was chasing him down for all he had from what I saw. And so I was like, there might be something happening here. And of course, he dug it in there.
This is the 3 wide between Cameron Hamilton and Dustin Montbriquet. This is now to turn 1, I believe, where it happens. Some contact. Or was it 3 and 4? It was 3 and 4, I guess. Between Josh Parrish and Parrish was down there. Boyd got into him. That's just not a high percentage thing to do.
No, definitely was not a high percentage move by the 16. I think he, like Montbriquet obviously was not on a great strategy as well with pushing through that field so aggressively. He did put himself in that situation kind of. Oh, I don't think that was purposeful at all.
I don't think it was.
No, I don't think it was. I think he just got bounced around a little bit. I believe there was a 54 in the bottom. It just got too tight, and maybe Montbriquet squeezed a little bit too much and maybe got himself in trouble there. Oh, that'd be the 55, it looks like.
Yeah, but Rocky doesn't need to be doing this. I mean, he drove into the right rear of Parrish to even make that happen. That's going to be a big no-no, I think, from the series. There's a lot wrong with that.
Yeah, and you see the 55 slides up the racetrack. It kind of seems, if you look there, the 55 slides up saying, hey, this is a dumb move. I'm going to make sure you can't make it on me and take me out. And it kind of causes I think that wreck would have happened anyway with this, how the 16 sent it in there.
iRacing.com pace car lights have not been extinguished yet, so this will be the end of Stage 1. Dustin Montbriquet will be your Stage 1 winner. We've still got a ways to go, though, through this. This is going to be an interesting, and you know, we're going to restart at the end of stage 1, technically, the end of lap 50. You can see there's a lot of damage to Monberquet's machine. You'll be able to see it from this shot. Yeah, look at that left side. It's dented.
Yeah, a couple of biggest winners from this stage. It's going to be Chris Horton up 12 positions, Matt Ralph up 17, Spencer Dickinson up 17, now 16, Keith Jeffrey up 11.
Here we go, green flag for the restart, stage 2 underway. Well, back green from stage 1. Hate to cut you off for the restart there, Bryant. You may definitely go ahead, but yeah, that was crazy.
I didn't expect it that quick. I thought they were gonna go a couple more laps with that stage caution, but they rolled it right in, and bravo to them getting back green here. You see the 53 on that outside trying to stick it.
That's Laxton as Monberquet goes fastest. Clearly some life left in those tires. Why not save that life, I would think, but I guess he's just going for it. Going to lead what he can and see what happens. It's at this point, you're committed. I respect it. He's trying something different.
If you don't think you can win the race, I love this strategy. Get your car out front, get a bunch of screen time, listen to the broadcast later, have lots of smiles, you know, get your sponsors on screen, get noticed, you know, and I do respect that, but I don't know if it's going to. I don't think it's going to pan out for him at the end. Just like you do, Andrew.
Here comes the field through 3 and 4. Everybody working that yellow line, just trying to get in line and sail right now. A couple of cars above it, a couple of cars below it.
Kind of using that paint strategy, using the paint to turn a little bit, kind of like what you see at Charlotte a little bit.
You know, what bugs me the most about that incident that we saw just end stage 1 is, well, but beyond how unnecessary it was, I was just singing Rocky's praises that he could have been the first car 1 lap down at the time of yellow for the stage, and he ends up going and being the caution, is stuck dead last now, 1 lap down behind 8 other cars or so. 7 other cars, it looks like. And I'll let you go ahead.
Happened? Cameron Hamilton randomly has just disappeared from the session. That's going to be the number 10. He is no longer in the session. What happened to him?
Take a look.
He lagged for a lap, it looks like.
He's just come back. This is a replay waiting on the moment that he drops. Should be literally any time. He just gotten clear of Kyle Meyer. Meyer running in the 14th spot. And what's interesting is the last time I saw this for a driver, it was actually at Le Mans in the Majors 24, and it was the biggest piece of drama that that race had, I feel like. It was in Split 4, the broadcast that we had. The leader of LMP2 lagged out for a moment, I'd say, not even that long, and lost count for that lap. The iRacing scoring system did not count that car for that lap, and they lost the race as a result. Interestingly, Cameron Hamilton held his position. He's still in the same spot. I'm not sure how that works, but hey, it works out.
I think it's based on, I think he lagged out right at the beginning of the lap, and then maybe came back right before he completed the lap, and so the sim registered that he did cross that line. But like you said at Le Mans, it took me, it was about a week before that whole situation ended, and I of course, with me being in race control and in the booth all at the same time, I was all over involved in that conversation and situation. It was quite interesting, and this time it's not going to be as interesting as he gets his lap count.
On board with Cole Cambry working the 17th spot, Kyle Meyer ahead, and there goes the lap 99 of Kyle Hedden. A few cars in this group are actually a lap down, I think, trying to make sure they win their race to get back onto the lead lap. Currently winning that race would be Aaron Johnson. He's got Justin Crowe about a second back, so some room for the 78 if he wants to get that lap back, but there is Aaron Johnson out of the Mid-South, a little bit of left front damage in 21st spot. Justin Crowe, a little ways back in that white RKM machine.
Yeah, and from qualifying, one of the biggest losers is Steele Langford. He's down 17 positions. He's a lap down, and he's going to fight for that lucky dog as well. You know, his I rating is one of the highest in the lobby at a 7K I rating. Not that that says everything with all the league racers, but for sure, probably not where he wants to be right now.
Cody Kelly starting to reel Dustin Mombercat back in. I think those tires are starting to fade for Mombercat. I mean, we are approaching halfway through this race as we work lap 69 of 200. There goes Langford by Kuhn, not for position, but here is Dustin Mombercat catching the back end of the field and Rocky Boyd in a hurry.
Yeah, that's quite a bit quicker than the last time.
Yeah, it was. I think these guys are leaning back more. Their tires are now a bit worn out. I don't know. They're getting caught a lot quicker. And in this group is the last car on the lead lap, Dylan Calabro. He's 20th. The next car ahead of him for position is out his windshield right now, Jake Grout. I'm surprised they're this far back right now.
Yeah, and we see Mombercat is catching that Rocky Boyd. Definitely keep an eye out for that. You know, it definitely was not on purpose from Rocky Boyd, but still makes you nervous.
We hope. I think he'd be parked if it was intentional. I don't think it was. You just never know sometimes. And, well, here comes Mombercat. Rocky Boyd there on the bottom side of the racetrack. Nowhere to go right now.
Oh, and we saw it last time. Mombercat's going to make a way around, and he's figured out, use that bottom, force him 3 wide, undercut him. It puts everybody in a precarious situation, but it gets you by race cars. So I'd expect him to learn from stage 1. Look at him. He's not looking at the high side. Watch, he's going to go in the corner. I don't see him fighting for the high until he can find a move for the bottom. He's going to roll off onto the bottom. See? There he goes.
Wow, on Rocky Boyd as well. Remember, he's that bottom car there. And, oh, there was some contact with the 25 of Rogers and the 16 of Boyd. Now Calabro down low is the last car on the lead lap. That's that black and purple 71 car down low with the yellow highlights. Rocky Boyd going to go by on the top side in the metallic red car, and Mombercat gets blocked by Calabro. Doesn't want to go a lap down.
And I do like this. If you watch Mombercat, he's going to roll in the corner really high, and he's going to arc low. Watch, he's going to let that 71 get clear. He's going to arc super low here maybe. At least that's how he's been doing it in the past. Hits the wall big for Mombercat.
Yeah, Dustin really got the fence there. That was a big knock to the wall. Here it comes on the outside of Dylan Calabro. You see ahead. That is Cole Cabry, race winner out at Hickory. He's in the top 3 in points. Wow. He's back here about to go a lap down in stage 2 at South Boston as Rocky Boyd puts it 3 wide. Nimcross going to be involved. Jake Grout goes around, hangs onto it, no caution.
Wow.
Grout's caught in the middle between the leader and Nimcross.
Pardon me, I apologize. He gets clear. No, maybe. Oh, there he goes. Now he gets clear. The 49 had to let out a little bit there, I believe. But, you know, the 28, we saw it. Stage 1, he tried to use the outside, It was just so clogged up. He's been starting to force people up on the inside to get by.
Nimcross now 2 laps down along with Devin Rogers, so problems for each of their races. But look at Cole Cabry here in the 18th position, about to go 1 lap down in stage 2. He has got to start using those tires. This is such a weird spot to be caught in, right? You're trying to save your stuff for the end. You know that you can be fast later on. You're one of the faster drivers in this race, but you're caught about to go a lap down because you're trying to save your stuff and make sure you're there for the end. This is a really tough spot to be in if you're Cole.
I think you have to force Mombercat to use that outside lane because I don't think it's the lane he wants to be in. Mombercat's been using the bottom a lot, as I've been saying. You see, he's going to make it 2 wide here with Spencer Boyd, with Rocky Boyd, pardon. I think he's going to use this to his advantage. Hopefully he can get by Rocky Boyd and start getting a split here with Mombercat.
That gets Rocky Boyd to go alongside Ryan Kuhn, 2 of our top 3 points contenders, right in front of our race leader, about to go a lap down because of how much tire they're saving. Ryan Kuhn, a little bit more of an advantage as 1 car is stopped. It's Jake Grout. He has pulled to the pit lane. So Cole Cabry on the chopping block right now. You see he goes up with Mombercat. He's going to go back down the racetrack maybe, but Mombercat going to try and put him 1 lap down here on lap 87. Oh, contact with Dustin and Cole.
That's going to put Mombercat back behind him.
Oh, cool shot there from the drone.
Oh yeah, for sure. Net 54 needs to find a slot and get in it. He needs to keep this 28 behind him. Definitely do not let him send it deep down on the inside on you.
And Rocky Boyd is kind of holding this log jam up, making it worse right now. Monberquette throws it back up in the inside of Cole Cabry.
That was close there. Monberquette's tires are definitely making him drift up. You see that right there? He drifts up the racetrack just a little bit in the corner. You can see the grip in those tires are starting to fall off for sure.
Just nowhere to go. As we continue to watch this, Rocky Boyd slides up nearly into Cole Cabry. Boyd's going to be on the bottom, I think, and force Monberquette around the top side. And that might be just enough of a break for Kuhn and Cabry to find somewhere to go here. But Ryan Kuhn needs to go somewhere as well. He's got Kyle Meyer out the windshield, then Josh Parrish, Kyle Souza, Cameron Hamilton, as, Ryan Kuhn starting to blink.
Yeah, he blinked out there for about a second.
And a second more.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely having some problems, and Monberquette's going to start complaining about that, if I would say so. That's usually, you see that a couple times, you start to shout it out.
Here's the bumper cam from Cole Cabry looking back at your race leader. Now, Monberquette has pulled time since these guys got to the back end of the field. Since they started to have to drive through lap traffic, Monberquette has actually pulled quite a bit of time as now Cabry goes to the outside of Ryan Kuhn. That 2x2 will actually help them a bunch. Usually it wouldn't. Usually you don't want to be caught racing, but where the leader's right behind you, if you can hold him back by blocking the entire racetrack, that's going to help you a ton, as now Ryan Kuhn is on the chopping block to go a lap down.
Yeah, it seems like Monberquette has stopped the two-wide dive bombs, and that's definitely going to help the rest of the field there. I just don't think Monberquette's been able to get to the right spot to get underneath and force that three wide, and right now he is stuck in a pocket, and I don't think anybody's going to let him out of it.
Ryan Kuhn going one lap down to the Sim Auto Racing Association. I never thought I would see the day, but he has gone that lap down, lets Monberquette and Boyd go. Next up, Cole Cabry. Now, Cole Cabry could do something. I doubt he's going to, but he could do something very mischievous, if you will, and he could let the 28 car go by at the last moment before the caution. That would trap Ryan Kuhn a lap down, and Cabry would get the lucky dog and go back on the lead lap. That would be a big-time heavy hitter out of this race, essentially. One lap down and caught there, as Monberquette now works the top side of Cole Cabry and RJ Williams down low. Oh, and Boyd clips the 28 again. I want to say quickly, before we hit the stage, right behind these guys, Cody Kelly has caught up a bit. You've got Justin Brooks, Trevor Edwards, Chris Horton, your top 5. Justin Laxton, Jacob Harbert's in 7th. The top 10 is completed by Brian Tedeschi in the 29 car right now. We'll come back up to the race leader on lap 100. This is the final lap of stage 2. Boyd pokes his nose back inside. Cabry still a final car in the lead lap. That should right there conclude stage 2. Boyd.
Hopefully it's concluded. Boyd sending it in there really deep to try to get that lap back.
I think Monberquette might let him get it. That should. There we go. We were letting the leader get back around to officially complete that lap, I think, and let the entire top 10 especially complete lap 100. And now, stage 2 is over. So once again, stage winner, Dustin Monberquette. Oh my gosh, catch your breath, Bryant. What a race.
Wow. I love this. This is great.
Dustin Monberquette, race leader. Let's see. I am blown away by how this race has developed. We have a couple of drivers that are ready to talk to us in the Sim Auto Racing Association Discord. One of them is league owner Matt Rolfe. We'll bring Matt in and talk to him briefly. Matt, this has been a wild proof of concept, I feel like. How's the car feel, though, for you personally?
My car's all right. Everybody decided to super save early on, and I said, screw it, I'll just ride up the outside and see how far I can get, and then I'll settle in from there. I didn't really expect the leader to go start lapping people. I think that threw a wrench in a lot of people's plans, but it sounds like it's made it pretty interesting as those guys back there are trying to fend off the leader.
It's been more than interesting. When do you feel like is the go time, at least for you personally?
We got another 50 laps here before the next caution, so I'll probably try to maintain my track position just so I don't completely burn it off yet, and just try to stay where I'm at and then see what's left there in the last 50 laps.
How much do you feel like the track is changing as we see a couple of cars pit behind you, lap cars? How much do you feel like the track is changing as the sun sets?
It's kind of hard to tell because with the dynamic tracks, you would think that the bottom groove would kind of get rubbered up and slick. But the track's also cooling off too, so I think it's kind of offsetting it a little bit. So right now the bottom still feels pretty good. I think if you needed to make a pass or hold somebody off, you could run the outside and be just fine. But it's also been hard to tell when everybody's not going 100% all the time. So I think those last 50 laps will be we'll see when that happens.
Well, best of luck here, P12 at halfway, and plenty of room to go forward.
All right, thanks.
And that is Matt Rolfe, and looks like maybe Matt, I might not be able to, there we go. I think I can move you out. It wasn't letting me at first, and Discord things are Discord things. But Matt running in position number 12, like I say, a lot of room to go forward, definitely also a lot of room to go backwards. Hopefully he doesn't do that.
Well, he's moved forward a lot as well, up 14 positions.
Yeah.
He's been going forward all day.
A couple of cars in the pit lane. One of them is Nim Cross in the 07. Another one, Rocky Boyd, getting damage repairs. And Jake Grout parked the car for a couple of laps. He is now down to 3 laps down in last position at the moment. And there's Rocky Boyd.
Oh, yeah. He's been in a lot of action.
Oh, we're green.
Green.
It happens quick at South Boston. Green flag back out. You can see them working down the backstretch. Dustin Monberquet in control. Cody Kelly second. You got to think these guys have to be thinking about going soon. The field thinning out a little bit, but staying a little more together. I think this is maybe where some of these guys plan to start racing. You see Brooks and Edwards side by side. Edwards wants that real estate. And Cody Kelly just went fastest. Well, hello. I think we've hit the alarm clock. These guys are going. Kelly on it. You've got Trevor Edwards going for third. Justin Brooks laying back. Edwards that time fastest.
Oh, wow. We're definitely going to see the strategy starting to come into play here. The 33 working bottom on the 32 here. Going to get clear there. But I'm definitely going to see these strategies start to come into effect. I think there's still definitely some drivers back there. They're going to save their tires and then really burn them up in stage 4. As of right now, though, we can start to see those strategies starting to clash as Cody Kelly is not quite letting Dustin Monberquet really get away by too far this time.
No, yeah, these guys are sticking with Monberquet this time around, and I feel like this might still be a little bit early to go full tilt. I think maybe 90% this run, and then 100% the last run. You still got to maintain your tires here. You still have nearly 100 laps to go. A very long time on a set of tires at South Boston. And I will say, hats off to these guys. This might be jinxing them early. I'll knock on wood. But only one caution for cause, and it happened to also work out as the stage caution to complete stage 1. These guys have done a fantastic job. Tight quarters, a lot of cars on the racetrack at South Boston. This is not an easy place to race green.
Yeah, and you were definitely right. A lot of people have increased the praise here on that green flag. The amount of purple and green that was all over my screen was immense. I think almost every single driver has improved their fastest lap.
Love these shots. Love them. You can see everybody just fly by the cameras. But you're right. Everybody's starting to improve their lap times, run the hardest they have all day long. It's like...
Oh, there's a 16. The 16's around. It gets into the 33. The 99's going to crash right into him. The 25's going to escape on the bottom.
Ryan Kuhn back there as well. He was the lucky dog. And Rocky Boyd is done.
Definitely an eventful night. He got a lot of screen time, so can't be too mad.
He was racing with Jake Grout. This is a little bit prior to the incident. Rocky Boyd down low. Jake Grout even lower. They go by Steele Langford. And I think right here, Jake Grout going to get into the 16. Turn the 16 of Boyd around. Boyd then turns left into Steele Langford. That's not okay.
That was a hard hit, too. Into that pit wall. That's a brutal one for sure. That's a day ender for sure for both those cars.
Another look back at it, and Steele Langford is forever going to question his life decisions to get him to that point, considering he let them go by. Hindsight's 2020. I really feel for Steele.
Yeah, and I think Steele was one of those guys who are just like, I'm out here to have fun. I'm just going to finish the race and have some fun racing with some guys. And he just got that taken away from him. So, oh man, I really feel bad for him.
On board from the 33 car.
Oh.
Gets hit hard there by Nim Cross as well.
Devin Rogers barely escaped that one on the bottom, too. Impressive by him.
I feel like Rocky's listening to me tonight. As soon as I sing his praises, we saw the incident earlier, and then as soon as I say, hey, these guys did a great job, no cautions for cause outside of the one earlier, and, well, caution for cause. Jake Grout gets into the 16 car. I know that wasn't at all on Rocky until he turned back down. Just unfortunate stuff. Let's go to the 99 car and watch this inboard, or in car, on board, same thing. You see Grout kind of shoves up to the inside there. I don't know if these guys are racing real hard beforehand, if maybe things boiled over. I feel like that was definitely avoidable, but then this, well.
Oh, nowhere to go. The 25 just escapes it. We are now double file on the backstretch, just about to go green here.
Yeah, our race leaders re-racked and restacked, ready to go back green flag racing. With just over 25 left in stage 3. Monberquette down low, Cody Kelly up top, then Edwards, then Brooks. Green flag back in the air at South Boston. Side by side, racing closely for the race lead. Cody Kelly might have it. He does. Back up to position 1 for the first time since Monberquette took over. Cody Kelly gonna race up to spot number 1. He's gonna bring Justin Brooks along with a change of the guard.
Man, that's some great driving there by Cody Kelly, man. I watched him go in the corner here, just like, oh, this is great. These guys battle real hard. Monberquette not quite letting that 33 get to where he wants to be. The 33 hugging real tight.
Notice the race pace is only 15s for these guys. They're not in the 14s like they were in practice and qualifying. Everybody leaning back. They've burnt their tires up quite a bit already. Monberquette inside, Justin Brooks outside. Contact that time out of turn number 2. They're still trying to sort this spot out. I told you, it's like a first half and a second half. And wow, Monberquette doors the 33 up the racetrack.
We've seen Monberquette be aggressive. I don't put it past him. He's going to give this 33 the biggest race of his life.
Brooks still caught on the outside of Monberquette. Trevor Edwards watching this. They touch again. And we still have 21 laps in stage 3.
Oh, this is racing for the race. This is racing for race positions at the end of the race right now. You can see it. These guys know it's time to go.
Here comes Trevor Edwards now and Dustin Monberquette. It's been the Monberquette show, but he's finally getting usurped by these guys. Edwards, Horton, Laxton, the next 3 to take a look. Then you've got Jacob Harberts, which I feel like might be the sleeper here in all of this. He's coming fresh off of a race win at Milwaukee. He's sat back and just kind of played the top 10.
88 goes into him, as well as that Dodge 78 and the 99 involved again. That poor 99 car. Sorry for interrupting you.
No, that's perfect. That's a caution. That's a big deal. Spencer Dickinson going to go around. Was racing with Josh Parrish and Matt Rolfe. Not my favorite paint scheme in the world. That's okay. Parrish to get in the back of the 6 car, and he goes for a slide. Keith Jeffrey gets into it. Aaron Johnson trying to check up, nowhere to go. And it looks like these guys just ran over each other trying to check up. Nim Cross involved as well.
Yeah, dude, that 99 Kyle is just getting killed today.
Nim slid to a stop down there. That was impressive to not get into whatever was happening ahead.
Good job for sure.
Let's see, Aaron Johnson gets caught up in all of this. We'll take his on board. You never want to see these kinds of incidents, especially this late in the race. Here we go. Just nowhere to go. All you see is smoke.
Yeah, the aggression level's definitely gone up. And I was just looking at that 88, and I think I got a new favorite car. I got to give it to the 88, man. That Firebird looks so good.
188 involved. The other 88 goes by. Dylan Calabro, great job of hanging on to the race car. And we should be doubled up here soon. Not just yet, but very soon. And, you know, these guys not having the opportunity to take tires is really changing how this race goes in general. I really enjoy this. I hope we get more of this as we have events down the road. We've still got to go to, with the same style, the same kind of format of race in the Virginia triple header. You've got South Boston, Langley, and Martinsville. I think all three races will be very similar to what we're seeing here this evening. Really cool stuff, as the iRacing.com safety car lights should be extinguished this time by the flag stand.
Yeah, they're definitely giving us a show up here in the booth. This is great. For my first time ever seeing any kinds of late model racing, this is great. I love this.
You've had to get your face on the screen for this one.
Oh man, you gotta get that new one up, man. I don't. that old one that's ancient. That's
It's
a little
like
old. But...
it's like you're shocked at how good the racing is.
Yeah, I like that's funny. That's good.
We'll have 13 laps to go in stage 3. You see Steele Langford in the pit lane. Green flag is back out at South Boston. The Privateer Racing Products 200 has been a thriller for sure. You see side-by-side racing now inside the top 5. Dustin Monburquette, Trevor Edwards side-by-side at the stripe.
Monburquette's going to get eaten here. He's got the most burnt tires in the field, I'd say.
Some of. Maybe not the most burnt tires, but definitely giving the rest of the field a run for their money as far as tire wear, I'd have to imagine. He really burnt those things up in stage 1 and stage 2, driving away from the field, but everybody jockeying for spots behind. Edwards still stuck up top. You see the field working through 3 and 4. Love these wide angles as well. You can see everything going on in the top 10, including Cole Cabrey driving through the field here. He's up to 11th. Remember, at the end of stage 2, he was about to go a lap down.
Yeah, and that, the 71's been having some lagging issues. That's going to be Calabro. Keep an eye out for him. It's been a here and there, so might see a lag out here for him.
Let's hope for the best for Dylan Calabro. Had that great save in that last caution. I want to say back of the field here, there's a lot of side-by-side racing, so we'll have to focus on this guy. Ryan Kuhn, really quickly. He got that lucky dog at the end of stage 2. He is sitting back here still saving his tires. He is 19th. He's been in the background of all of these replays recently. I would expect him to be somebody at the front of the field. I would not expect him to be 19th with 50 laps to go, so he's got to get something going here. I would imagine he's going to start pushing in stage 4. I'm guessing he's waiting until then, but that might be a little too late.
He has got one of the cleanest cars in the field, though, as well. There's some guys with a little bit of damage and some bumper up.
Edwards and Monburquette, some contact that time at the stripe. Everybody able to hang on to it.
Oh, there goes the 29 into the wall hard. That was a hard hit off the nose of the 54. Now he's on the outside of the 88, but at the 10. There's a lot of knocking there.
That was Brian Tedeschi in the 29 car. Cole Cabrey in the 54. They get through it. See Hamilton and Jeffrey in behind. Didn't see the exact hit, but sounds like it was a big one.
It is a hard hit for sure. He came off the nose of, I can't remember the number, but He definitely got harder to the wall. It was one of those, he was on the inside, the other car was on the outside. He just kind of hooked himself up into the wall.
Watching Matt Rolfe and Chris Horton right ahead of the 54 of Cole Cabre, who's finally into the top 10. And this
hits the wall.
Is about to be the end of stage 3. As Thronberg goes for a slide on the front stretch, able to hang on to the race car just barely. But Cody Kelly, race leader, lap 150 of 200. This should be our stage caution this time by. Here comes the field. Lap 150 complete. And caution, I guess when they come back around. When the whole field completes the lap, I believe. Well, we thought that would be the stage. Maybe that's why these guys are racing so hard. There it is, stage caution. A lap late. Matt might have been in the throes of battle there. Who knows?
It happens. It definitely happens.
So new stage winner for the first time tonight, Cody Kelly in the 75 car.
Yeah, definitely deserves that. That Toyota, man, I think it might be one of the only Toyotas in the field, but definitely looks good for sure. Saw a lot of contacts, wall taps, a lot of at the end of that stage there. A lot of people pushing to get a few positions. Biggest mover is the head of the series there. Matt Rolfe is the biggest mover so far, up 17 positions. Chris Horton up 12, just ahead of him.
Another look at series standings coming into tonight. The top 3 that realistically will take over. Now, Alex McCullum with the drops, he'll still be in the picture, but he's not here tonight. So we're looking at Cole Cabre, Ryan Kuhn, and Jacob Harberts. Cabre runs 10th. Ryan Kuhn runs 19th. I think he's going to turn up the wick after this restart. Jacob Harberts is the best of the 3 of them. He is 6th. And I feel like he might be in the best position. Cabre might have set that, though, with how far Cabre's been able to come through the field. Watch out for the 54 car, but I still, my bets right now, I think, would be on Jacob Harberts. Of the 3 of them to win this race, I can't bet against Cody Kelly, though. Overall, of the whole field, he has been absolutely fantastic tonight. I don't know who, Justin Brooks has been good. Trevor Edwards has been good. Dustin Mauburquette's still in the top 3, but I don't know how you bet against the 75 with how strong he's been from qualifying to the race. And we're only going to have about 40 laps to go when this race goes back green. The Privateer Race Products 200.
Yeah, the aggression levels, you thought it was aggressive that last stage. It's going to be turned up even more for this one. They're going to be 44 to go when they go, 43 to go when they go green. Just about to hop on the backstretch here to go green.
And not many laps left here at South Boston Speedway, and a whole lot of cars left running. In fact, it looks like 25 of 28 are on the racetrack to take this restart to go to the end of this race. Through turns 3 and 4 and back to the restart zone, Cody Kelly gets the Privateer Race Products 200 back underway. The first side-by-side, Blake Thronberg, Trevor Edwards. Thronberg on the move on this restart. Big moves as well. As you see, they're still side-by-side through turns 3 and 4. Kelly gets away on the restart. You see a side-by-side back there as well between Laxton and Horton. Horton going to win out the battle for now.
Much different restart this time around, guys. A lot more aggression in this one. Keep your eye on the cluster, guys.
You can see just how much closer the field is together.
So goes the 0. There's the 29 and the 10. The 88 runs into it. That's going to be the green 88. And the 25 avoids all of it, stopping just behind him.
Well, Brian Tedeschi, looks like Kyle Meyer, Matt Rolfe involved. And this is where the race begins. If it wasn't already properly underway, this is really where it gets going. Matt Rolfe down there on the bottom side, Brian Tedeschi behind. Looks like Tedeschi's just going to get in deep.
I think that was actually started behind him as well. I think that was a double bumper tap that caused that.
I think Hamilton got into Tedeschi. We'll see here. No, Tedeschi on his own. Oh, man.
Yep.
That is a big one, though.
Yeah.
A couple of really good cars.
Yeah, especially hard for that biggest mover, Matt Rolfe, and the owner of the series. Spencer Dickerson went way back as well on that in the 6th. He's all the way back to 16th now.
Was that Ryan Kuhn getting involved as well? Or was that Parrish? I think it might have been Kuhn. Watch the 72 here. Top of the racetrack. He gets into the wall trying to miss it. That's a big deal.
Oh, that might have been net code. Can you see the side of his car? That might have been net code.
I think he just avoided it. I think it was him trying to swerve and miss it. We'll go to the onboard. In fact, we'll go to the driver's eye view. I think he was just trying to miss the crash. Watch the wheel. Will happen this time by in turn 1. They start stacking up. Yeah, that was just a big swerve out of him.
You're right. You're right. You're on the money, man. You've been watching these guys a lot more than I have.
Yeah, you know, we had their Super Series in the beginning of 2024. I can bring up the schedule from that series, actually. Here it was. From Kern County down through Lanier, the SARA Pierce Fleet Service Super Series. It's a tongue twister. A whole lot of fun. Ryan Kuhn was the defending champion, actually, going into this season. Alex McCullum was the eventual champion at the end of Lanier when it was all said and done. What a season it was as well. It gives us the basis off of which to go with these guys in the national tour. We're going to have, though, less than 35 laps to go at the end of this restart.
Going green with 34 to go.
Not many laps. The Privateer Race Products 200 about to get back underway. Cody Kelly into the restart zone. Green flag back out at South Boston. Side by side for third. Momberket down low. That's Thronberg up top of the 22 car.
Got some 3 wide farther back in the pack there as well.
Ryan Kuhn, one of them, and he actually just got hit down the racetrack by the 7 of Souza. Saw that developing in the very back end of the frame. You see Cameron Hamilton there with Josh Parrish. Inside the top 10, though, Horton's starting to fall back, and Cole Cabry has moved right up behind the 80 of Harberts that I told you to watch for. Harberts is up a spot or 2. Harberts is now into 5th. Cabry into 6th. And they're working by Momberket.
Momberket's fallen 2 positions since the restart. Those older tires probably not serving him the best, but I don't expect him to fall too far. His aggression level is going to help him stay up towards the front as he falls another position down to 6th.
Whoa, contact there to the left rear of Cabry. Hangs on to it. But I told you to watch for the 54 and the 80, that last caution, didn't I? The 54 moving into the top 5, the 80 into 4th, and he is closing up on the rest of these guys out ahead. Cody Kelly, Justin Brooks, Blake Thronberg. Beyond notice, Harberts is on the move.
Yeah, and as Andrew said earlier, we are now seeing 14-second lap times consistently from the top 4. They are going from just very low 15s to high 14s.
Time's picking up as here goes Trevor Edwards trying to get around Dustin Momberket. That 28 getting beat up. It was a valiant effort. It really was for so many laps. But he's finally being swallowed up by this field, and you see why. These guys saved their stuff. Although he's creating a logjam here. Horton getting checked up. Nearly got turned that time around by Jeffries.
Yeah, we also have a big
Hamilton! Wow! And Momberket's going to go way up high. Allow Jeffrey to go by. Horton, Hamilton. And there goes the 72 of Ryan Kuhn into the top 10. Might be a little too late.
Yeah, track temp has plummeted here. We're almost to 90 degrees here, guys. Looks like 93 on yours. It's getting cool out here, guys. The track's gonna still be changing as we get closer to the checkers. 23 laps to go here at the line.
Yeah, you know, if we go to the scenic blimp camera, you can see that the sun is just about set. You see these guys running through turns 1 and 2. It's actually a really cool view to watch the race from. You can see where everybody's at. Cody Kelly is pulled away by a half second over Justin Brooks, and here comes for third place Jacob Harberts. Goes right on by Blake Thronberg, made that look easy. I'm telling you, this 80 car might be the one to watch for the win. I really think he was in the best spot of anybody who was doing the extreme saving, and that was high in the points. He was sitting at the back end of the top 10 the entire race. Here he comes, third place.
Yeah, he is coming. Last lap was a 15.242 for Cody Kelly. Jacob in that 80 car that you're talking about was a 15.222. And actually, that was a little bit late there. These laps are so quick, I wasn't able to get it out quick enough. Matching laps for first and third that last lap around.
That last time, Harberts was a bit quicker.
Just barely by a 1,000th of a second. But before that, he was about a 10th quicker than Kelly on the lap before. So still stuff developing. As you see, Montbriquet is done for the night.
A little bit of 2, 3 wide back here. Keith Jeffrey, Ryan Kuhn, Cameron Hamilton, Josh Parrish. Right around the top 10 battle. Hamilton currently the final car in the top 10. If we get a caution and if we get a restart, watch Ryan Kuhn. He has brought himself through the field. I just think it's a bit too late as we approach 15 laps to go. And here we go, side by side for second. Harberts to the inside.
Harberts was quicker than the leader that last lap around. He's going to keep working on it here. Justin Brooks just put down his fastest lap. Harberts just put down his fastest lap. Isn't that insane? They're running side by side, running their fastest laps of the race here. That is amazing jobs by those two drivers. Oh, pardon me, I misread the sheet.
Not quite their fastest, no. But I see what you're talking about. They were
55, the 42 almost around as well. The 78 having to dodge here.
Oh, and there goes Brooks at the racetrack. That bobble's going to free up Harberts. He's going to get away. Harberts now side by side with Thronberg, who moves to the inside of the 22 car. That puts Cabry back a little further. He is stuck trying to get by these guys to get to the top 3. And Brooks bobbles again. He could have a tire going. We could see some tire failures in the last 10 laps of this race.
And that could have been what happened to Montbriquet.
It might have been. Very well might have been, but Jacob Harberts now looking ahead. That was 12 laps to go. This time will be 11. That's the gap. 1 second, nearly even. And there is lap traffic ahead.
Yeah, and this next time around, they're coming to 10 laps to go. 10 laps to go in this race, guys. And it's going to be a quick one as they're only running 15-second lap times.
That lap traffic at the very back end of the field here, I believe, is going to be the last car on the lead lap, which is Spencer Dickinson. It is. And he's going to go high. That's going to allow Cody Kelly to go by uncontested down low. That was 10 laps to go. Here comes 9 laps to go for the 75 car. I told you, I wouldn't bet against Cody Kelly. He had the advantage off the restart. He was able to just get going nicely. He had the fastest car, put it on pole. Clearly, as he goes by the start-finish line there, clearly has a reason to be the top of the field.
Yeah, and this isn't over yet. Not to curse the system, but there's still a big cluster here from about 9th back to 13th. And there's definitely still a possibility for a caution.
He's putting time on Harberts slowly but surely. You see it eking out. At one point it was a second and a 10th. It varies a little bit. You see it getting closer to a second and a 10th, then down inside of a second. It's moving around, but you're right. There is traffic all over this racetrack. Here's some side-by-side racing. I see Crow, Johnson, Meyer, Tedeschi in this fight. A little further forward, I see Rolf and Horton fighting. That's the 0 and the 42. And then we still have second, third, and fourth that are very close together as Cody Kelly goes by some more lap traffic. That's Justin Laxton, who was in the top 10 for a lot of this race. One car has stopped. It's Justin Brooks. No caution.
Maybe he lost that tire finally.
4 laps to go. You see Harbert's getting by the slow Laxton. Cody Kelly, just 3 more times around this place, and he will have a checkered flag. Here we go. 3 laps to go on the Privateer Race Products 200. Lap traffic ahead. Harbert still a second back, keeping him honest. Nim Cross, the next car to have to lap. This will be Popsicle Sticks. 2 laps to go at South Boston Speedway. Oh, contact there between Souza and Cross. This time around, it's the white flag for Cody Kelly. Lap cars go high. White flag brought to you by Whiplash Simcams. Jacob Harbert's not close enough to have anything to say about it. Down the back straightaway, Cody Kelly a half a lap from a checkered flag and out of turn 4. The driver who started on pole will win the Privateer Race Products 200 at South Boston. Cody Kelly posted to victory lane.
Was bad fast today. That was a great drive by him. Did not lead the most laps. I think that goes to Monbriquette, but Monbriquette is going to be scored 25th on the race result. So I'll definitely take Cody Kelly's position over Monbriquette's.
Oh yeah, race win all day long. Cody Kelly played this race like a fiddle. Absolutely perfect the entire day. He's going to be able to do some burnouts down here in turns 1 and 2. Absolutely deserving. What a perfect showing here at South Boston Speedway. He will forever be this race's winner. And I, again, feel like this is the most realistic example of a late model stock race I've ever seen on iRacing. What a show.
Definitely going to open my eyes, that's for sure. I'm definitely going to try out these race cars now. This was amazing. This is, I'm definitely missing out on something here.
Well, you didn't miss out this evening. That was a fantastic race.
That is for sure.
Unbelievable. Yeah. I'm just blown away. I really am. Well, we'll take a look at the unofficial race results when it's all said and done after 200 laps. And what a clean race it was as well. Only a couple of cautions in there. Cody Kelly with the race win by a second over Jacob Harbert's. Unbelievable. The fact that he still drove away, he kept himself second all race long until he wanted first. Then he went and got first. And then he still won this race by a second. It wasn't a close win. Jacob Harbert's a second back. Blake Thronberg, Cole Cabry, Ryan Kuhn, your top 5. Trevor Edwards, Josh Parrish, Cameron Hamilton, Keith Jeffrey, and Matt Rolfe round out your top 10. Really impressive runs by some of these guys in the back end of the top 10, I have to say. Parrish, Hamilton, Jeffrey, Rolfe, they all had very different days. I mean, Rolfe was around the top 10 most of the day. We talked to him at halfway. He was 12th. He was involved in a crash, came back to 10th. Parrish was back there in all of the mess when all of that happened with Rocky Boyd and Dustin Monbriquette. He was able to come back through the field and finish 7th. Hamilton was in a couple of crashes. Jeffrey was in a crash. For them to all finish top 10 is a really impressive run from the 4 of them.
Yeah, it was impressive, and man, Kelly, you saw Monbriquette run away at the beginning there, and Kelly kept his composure, did not freak out, did not do anything crazy. I don't even think Monbriquette affected his strategy. As you saw, the 1, 2, and 3 at the beginning there were just staying together and were not freaking out, and the patience paid dividends for Kelly this evening.
See the rest of 11th through 20th. Take a look at 21st through 28th as well. Rocky Boyd dead last this evening. Steele Langford only a couple of laps up. Jake Grout, Dustin Monbriquette. A lot of bad days back here for a lot of these guys. But I have to say, props to all the way down through Nim Cross finishing this race. 22nd, 3 laps down. A lot of these guys stayed in it. And you were right, 91 laps led for Cody Kelly. Not the most. I think that still goes to Monbriquette, but what a day it was for our race winner this evening of the Privateer Race Products 200. Cody Kelly, you're our race winner at South Boston Speedway. How in the world did you save those tires through stages 1 and 2 to suddenly just turn up the wick and go get Monbriquette?
Well, I tell you, the first 2 stages or actually the first stage, we saved a lot. and I had Justin Brooks behind me, and he was talking to me throughout the race. And I hadn't raced these cars too much lately, and he was telling me how hard to go and how much to save or whatever. And the second stage, we had to pick it up a little bit. And I kept telling him, man, I don't think we're saving enough. I think they're pushing us too hard. But that third stage, we were just like, man, we just got to get past him and try to hold him off. And I tell you what, he built a heck of a setup tonight. I gave him a lot of crap in real life, but I tell you what, he can build a really good setup, and he put it under us tonight, and we had a great car, and just can't thank him enough.
Clearly, you guys were hooked up. I mean, there were drivers talking about having a specific setup for this race with so many laps on one set of tires. Of course, you talk about saving through stages 1 and 2, but how difficult was it to go into a 200-lap race knowing you can't change tires at all? That is almost unheard of. They do it in the real world, but on iRacing, nobody does that, and you guys did it flawlessly.
Oh, yeah. Well, I do have a lot of real-life experience saving tires. I race at Florence Motor Speedway with late model stocks, and so we have to save a bunch there. So I got a little bit of experience doing it, and it paid off tonight.
I said multiple times tonight, this looked like the most realistic late model stock race I've ever seen on the sim. I've seen a lot of Cars Tour races where these guys back down to half percentage, 50% or so at places like Caraway, South Boston, Ace, Orange County, all these different tracks, including Florence, where these guys sit way, way back. And it's a completely different race from lap 15 to lap 115 to lap 200 at the end. This felt like the most realistic late model stock race I've ever seen on the sim. Can you agree?
Oh yeah, it feels just like a Florence 400 or Myrtle Beach 400. I've been a part of them for the past 2 or 3 years now, and man, I tell you what, it's literally like the same race just then.
It was a lot of fun. Cody, congratulations. I know you say you haven't been running this car much. Well, clearly you have, just in real life. That experience paying off here this evening. Congratulations. Hopefully we're talking to you again soon.
Yeah, thank you, man. I just got to give a shout out to the association and Brooks Speed Shop. And everybody watching, just can't thank all my teammates enough. We had a rocket ship, and man, it feels good to be back in Victory Lane. Hadn't won this air in a little while, so it feels good.
Oh, hey, are you going for the triple header? We got Langley coming up in July and Martinsville in September.
I'll tell you what, I'll probably be here. I'll try to go back to back.
Got to have you for the double header, or the triple header rather. 3 wins at Virginia racetracks. We'll see if you can do it. Cody Kelly, congratulations once more. We'll be talking to you again soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Cody Kelly with more than a rocket ship this evening. But we'll go down and grab second place, Jacob Harberts. Won at Milwaukee. I really thought for a while he might have the best strategy, Bryant, but here he is.
Hey, Jacob, you got a copy there?
Yes, sir.
Dude, what a rocket ship tonight. That 80 car looked so good. You were in a bunch of action tonight, though kept the race car really clean. Coming to those last few laps, you looked like you had a head of steam on Cody Kelly, but what was the difference for this race?
Really, the big difference is just you got to qualify on the pole. It's a big advantage in these races because having the right combination of track position and saving tire, that's the magic recipe to win these long distance races and late models. So I qualified third, which is still really good, but there was no point in trying to get to the front early because I would just burn my tires up. So I was just kind of forced to ride and save tire best I could, and I was just hoping that I could save more tire to be quick enough at the end to get the win. But we were, I think, just a touch quicker than Cody, but obviously not enough to get the job done.
Yeah, definitely. We thought that you were going to go up and fight for that lead at the end there, and Cody just matched every one of your laps there. And I'm just curious, what do you think about Mumbercat's strategy at the beginning of the race? That was quite interesting, winning 109 laps, and he actually got into some action towards the back with you, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I knew early that it was a risky strategy. I was thinking he would at least, once he got to the lead, back it down, maybe get to a second ahead of whoever was in second at the time and just kind of match their pace, because that's really the goal, in these races when you're the leader. You're just trying to match the guy behind you. That way he doesn't pass you, but, you can have as equally as a good tire as, whoever's behind you. But he just kept digging, and he was having a good, fun time. So I can't be mad at him. But obviously, his strategy didn't work out too well.
I got 2 more questions for you. What do you think that looking back, second place is great, you know, unless you subscribe to the first, if not first, your last kind of. I don't think you do, but what is the one thing that you would change throughout this race to help you get that win?
I guess a combination of or like 1 or 2 things. Either qualify on the pole, or maybe if I was more aggressive in the beginning to get that track position, and you know, got around Cody, I might have been able to, I guess, you know, not quite go as fast as what Mombercat did, but you know, like I said, just kind of get out to that half a second or 1 second lead and match the guy's pace behind me, and just hope I can hold him off there at the end.
Yeah, and I had one last question before I send you to your shout outs, but I like asking this question because it helps you, gives you opportunity to throw a compliment out to one of your fellow racers out there. Who is your favorite person to battle against tonight? Because there was obviously tons of battles, and it looked like a ball in the race car.
Well, so a lot of the early race, I was just kind of cruising, wasn't trying to battle with anyone. Between the guys that I was battling with, I would say it was Laxton, Horton, Trevor Edwards. Between those 3, I'll probably go with Trevor. I always have really good battles with Trevor on track. We both are, you know, just kind of real consistent with not giving each other a ton of room, you know, not racing dirty, but just giving it everything we got, you know, no matter if it's lap 1 or lap 100, depending on the race. You know, obviously in a long distance race like this, you gotta have more give and take if you want to succeed.
Yeah, you did a heck of a job tonight, and that's going to help you with the points quite a bit. Second in place, you are the highest finishing person in the top 10. That's going to certainly help you in those point standings, get up there. Other than that, man, heck of a job tonight. Second place, nothing to frown out. Cody Kelly was definitely hard to beat tonight, but give me your shout outs.
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the guys at LeDuc Matthews Racing, and shout out to Majula C Speed Shop. I'm the builder over there, and obviously we got some good setups to provide for customers. So if you're looking for anything asphalt short track related, head over to them.
All right, thank you, Jacob. That was great. We appreciate you, and we're gonna see you again, hopefully in the next race. And give me a top 3 for me again, so I can interview you again. All right.
That's the plan.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Jacob Harbert's P2 this evening, fresh off a win at Milwaukee. We'll go down and grab 3rd place, Blake Thronberg, who comes on through, I think, one of the more impressive runs for sure. Started 14th, up to 3rd by the end of it. Blake, solid day for you. How did you save your stuff? What was your plan going in? Was there a plan?
Yeah, kind of. I was just really going to go with the flow back there. I knew I had some pretty good guys that had done races like this before, so I was just going to match their speed. But then I was just sitting there talking to Matt, and I was like, man, I don't want to ride like this, because I knew barbecue was going, so I didn't want to go a lap down. So I just kind of paced myself and talking to Jacob and seeing what kind of lap times he was running. And I was riding around on the outside, just kind of, you know, kicking laps off and getting a few positions here and there. So then about halfway through the race, we kind of just picked it up, and then we got that caution right there before the last competition caution. And you just see what you had right there, and turned out pretty good, man. Jacob Harbert's built a rocket ship, and as you can tell, we both finished 2nd and 3rd. We didn't get the overall win, but like I said, pretty good start to the Triple Crown stuff.
You know, I saw the Matt Julis C logo on the side of the car. I was going to ask about it. That tells us a whole lot that you guys were on the same setup, but it didn't seem like the exact same strategy. You were in slightly different spots throughout the race. I seem to recall you being a little ahead of him most of the race. Were you at all concerned, though, about what Mombercat was doing, going off and taking off, trying to lap as many cars as possible? Did you think that might work? Did you think it had some validity? Or did you always know you guys were to come back to him and pass him up?
Well, I knew if we didn't have any cautions, it probably wasn't going to work, but this guy's top notch on the sim. I mean, he's got the SARA career is pretty legit, good resume. So, I mean, I figured it might work out. Like you said, he didn't start falling off until right there at the end, but you kind of knew if he was the lap times he was running that he was going to eventually fall off. But I mean, I think the competition cautions, he kind of played it. I mean, a couple more cautions, I think he'd have been all right. But yeah, I just didn't want to go a lap down. And then, like I said, once I got up to Jacob and started riding behind him, we were on the same strategy. A little bit different setup, but yeah, same idea. He, like I said, he's a little bit looser, and I was driving a little bit tighter setup, but it ended up working out. Like you said, that was really fun.
And we've seen you slowly get better and better in these national tour races. This time, top 3 are talking to us at the end of the day. That's always a good thing to talk to us when the race is over. Can you call your shot for Slinger here in a couple of weeks? Where do you expect to be for that one?
Man, just hopefully qualify good. And like I said, I know that I'm going to have a rocket ship, so I know the car's going to be there. Just kind of put it in the laps and put it in the times. And hopefully, wherever it happens, and hopefully we're up here again talking to you.
Best of luck. Hopefully we're talking to you again soon.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for hosting, and thank Matt and all them guys at SARA for hosting this event. So y'all have a good evening.
There you go, Blake Thronberg, 3rd place this evening when it's all said and done. I can't sing these drivers' praises enough. I never ever thought I would have seen this race go as quickly, as cleanly as it did. I mean, it doesn't matter who you put on this racetrack. It could be 30 of the absolute best, which we have 30 of the best, I'd say. Probably 30 of the best 100 late model racers on the sim at the very least. I never would have thought it would have gone this green. In fact, we could bring up a graphic for it. Only 6 cautions. 3 of those, Bryant, were stage cautions. One of them was technically by cause, but it was for the stage. 3 of those were stage cautions. 6 total in 200 laps with 0 change tires. This is the top echelon of short track racing on iRacing.com. I know there's some that love to hate, but this is the top echelon.
Dude, for sure, dude. I've not been this excited about a race since I was watching road course racing about 3 weeks ago. Wow, I love road course racing, but this is different. This is a whole nother level of racing, and wow, this was dude. I got the bug for late model stocks now, man.
Yeah, this is a really good preview of what you can see at South Boston this weekend. I believe it'll be on Flow Racing. You should definitely tune in. If you're a first-timer, especially, tune in to the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson 200. This Privateer Race Products 200, though, this excited in every single way. Really paid off nicely, and I think this has to have everybody hopeful going into Slinger. I know it's another really tough place to go race, but if these guys can do it at South Boston, I think they can definitely go do it at Slinger, at least to a similar degree. I know it's a half mile, it's way higher banking. I get it, it's going to be a little different, it might get a little messy, but I think these guys have shown the patience tonight to sit back and get a race in before they start racing. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, man, and you got me excited for next week. I cannot wait, whether I'm in the booth or watching. Slinger's gonna be a ball next week, man.
And the cool thing is, Slinger's going to be in the super late model. Then we go back to the late model stock for Langley, back to the super for Oxford, back to the late model stock for Martinsville, and then we don't know where we're going in October. We still have no clue where we're going for race number 11, and then it's the Fall Brawl to cap things off in the super late model at Five Flags Speedway on November 21st. A big shout out to all those who make it happen for us, especially here at the series. I had the graphic. Where did it go? Is it this one? Hang on. Not that one. Here we go. Yes, I got it to work. 1-8 Racing Media, SARA Next Gen Templates, Privateer Race Products. Thank you all for being here and allowing this event to even be a possibility. It would not be possible without these groups making it possible for the Sim Auto Racing Association. Wow, I still am just blown away by this race today. Let's take a look, though, what we have upcoming for us. Look at it. Wednesday, it's coming up again. These guys back on the track at Slinger a week and a day from today. It's crazy that it's coming that fast, but before we get there, we're going to Interlagos on Thursday with the North American Racing League and their GT3 series, and on Sunday, we head out to the Nashville Superspeedway on June 30th for the Icon Cup series and their 18th race, I believe 18th. Yes, 18th race of the 37 race season, right just about at halfway. It's a long haul, and we're halfway through the year. A lot of really exciting racing coming up, and I'm going to test you here. I'm going to test you. Are you ready?
I'll go for it.
There's a lot of great places to follow along with Pit Stop TV. They're all on the bottom of the screen.
I thought you were going to quiz me or something.
Well, you see, the test, I test newer commentators, and I do this a lot with Zach Murtis, and there's absolutely no obligation. You don't have to read it off, but I test to see if the new commentator will read it off. PitStopTV.com, Facebook.com/PitStopTV, Instagram.com/Pit_Stop_TV, Twitch.tv/Pit_Stop_TV, YouTube.com/C/PitStopTV1, and X.com/PitStopTV_. It's a mouthful.
What's X?
Twitter,
Twitter?
right? Yeah.
I'm just,
Yeah, I get it. I
failed your test. I failed your test. I'm sorry, man.
That's okay. You pass in our book. I think anybody to be thrown to the wolves like that in a 200 lapper at South Boston to do as well as you did, you pass the test. I think everybody else will agree this evening. Really good to have you here, Bryant Lucas. It was a pleasure as always, and I can't wait for the next one. In the meantime, a big shout out once again to those who make it possible. This would not have been at all possible without Privateer Race Products. Got to thank here 1-8 Racing Media and SARA Next Gen Templates. The Sobo 200 by Privateer Race Products. Man, what a race! I can't get over it. I don't want to end the broadcast. I don't want to accept that it's over. I don't want to go to bed, Mom. I want to stay up. I want to have more of this racing injected in my veins. Like I can't accept that we're done. But Cody Kelly, what a race winner this evening over Jacob Harberts and Blake Thronberger, top 3. That'll do it for us this evening from South Boston Speedway. We hope to see you again very soon at Pit Stop TV. We show those upcoming broadcasts, hopefully Thursday evening at Interlagos for the North American Racing League. Otherwise, until then, have a great night. We'll see you next time.
Bye.